Greetings! Thank you for lending an ear to The Voice of the Times for Tuesday, January 11, 2022, brought to you by Wilkin Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with Wilkin Online Store. Just go to shop.wilkin.com.ph. For today's editorial, we need to unlock more of Omicron secrets. Last week, Octo research fellow Father Nicanor Austriaco boldly declared that the Omicron variant is the beginning of the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. Omicron is going to provide the kind of population immunity that will stabilize our societies and should allow us to reopen after Omicron has begun. It should provide the population protection we need everywhere, the microbiologist said. Austriaco's declaration drew a sharp retort from Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere, who cautioned against underestimating Omicron's ability to wreak havoc. Vergere says the coronavirus is continually evolving and could still spawn a fatal mutation. Just over a month after it was first detected in South Africa, Omicron still baffles the world's health experts, but they agree on two things. It is not as lethal as the Delta variant, and it is at least 4 times more infectious. That explains the lower hospitalization and death rates from Omicron and the warp speed at which it has raced across the planet. Beyond that, Omicron remains largely an enigma. Viral experts have to rely on mathematical modeling and limited studies in unlocking the world's other secrets. The lack of hard data is fueling the international debate over how best to take on Omicron. Even the World Health Organization is reluctant to classify it as a mild variant. Just like previous variants, Omicron is hospitalizing people and it is killing people. In fact, the tsunami of cases is so huge and quick that it is overwhelming health systems around the world, said WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. But there are virus scientists who share Austriaco's rosy forecast that Omicron will be ebbing soon. Infectious diseases experts in Australia predict that the variant will dissipate as fast as it surged. Doctors at a South African hospital see case numbers and hospitalization rates waning over the next few weeks. Their explanation is that the virus is spreading so quickly that it will eventually run out of people to infect. When that happens, the infection chain will be broken. Here in the Philippines, the COVID-19 wave, apparently driven by Omicron, is expected to pass 30,000 cases on Monday, the highest caseload since the pandemic started. The hospitalization rate is up, and so is the positivity rate. The government has reinforced its COVID response to stem the new wave of infections. More hospital beds have been allotted for COVID patients in the National Capital Region and the surrounding areas where the surge is strongest. Temporary treatment and monitoring facilities have been reactivated, and local government units have been directed to make sure their emergency operation centers are operational. Barangay emergency response teams must now closely monitor people undergoing home isolation or quarantine. More swab tests will be available for people who want to know if they are COVID infected. Vaccination efforts outside Metro Manila will be stepped up. Joy Concepcion, the presidential advisor for entrepreneurship, says the country has a stockpile of about 100 million doses, so there is a reason for the government not to reach its vaccination targets. There have been proposals to raise the COVID alert level in Metro Manila from the present 3 to 4 to blunt the rise in cases. But according to Palace spokesman Carlo Nograles, the prevailing metrics and parameters do not justify raising the alert level for now. Nograles is referring to the 2-week growth rate, the average daily attack rate, and total bed utilization, which are a more reliable gauge than the daily caseload. We need to learn more about Omicron, but in the meantime, we must not be lulled by forecasts about the pandemic entering its final phase. A recent social weather station survey shows at least 80% of Filipinos hope that the worst phase of the pandemic is over. That could be a sign of what a virus expert describes as variant fatigue. That's when people start to accept that this is what viruses do. We just need to get on with our lives. Variant fatigue is just a more fancy term for complacency. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, January 11, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.